We are getting ready here to sew and create and have a lot of fun. All right. Hello. What's here, everyone? Welcome. I'm so excited to be here. I haven't been on in a little while. Life just gets busy and it's a little wild. Shines bright. Okay, just a second. This one's gonna shine. Screen. I'm just gonna turn it a little bit. Well, it is what it is. All right. So for those of you that maybe have never watched one of my lives, my name is Vanessa Genier. I'm the founder and CEO of Quilts for Survivors. And I have been quilting for for about 36 years now. And it's my hobby. It also is my job. And it is my passion. And I love to create and sew. And even while I'm listening to, or supposed to, reading. So one thing, I have some chapters that I need to read for this class I'm taking, and there's an audio part. There was like it can read to you. And so I sat here today and did some work on different projects that I'm working on, and I listened to the book that I need to read, the chapters. So that was really nice. And I didn't do anything. It involved a lot of thought process in the pattern itself. I didn't do anything that required a lot of cutting or trimming or anything like that. It was more just nice, comfy sewing, and that was a lot of fun. So that's what I do. That's how I kind of work. So I'm working on a couple of different projects. This year, one thing that I'm focusing on is using fabric I already have, using it up, doing something with it, whether it's donate it to the studio, give it to one of my kids or a friend, or actually making something with it. So that's what I'm working on. I did a stash buster challenge, sorry, a declutter challenge this month. It was 21 days. I didn't have to do everything that it said because I've kind of over the years, dwindled down on what I have in my stash and kind of been working on, using up the things I have. What's the point of having all this stuff if I don't use it? Yes, so that's what I'm trying to do is use up things that I already have. So one thing, sorry, I really need to get a new chair. One thing that I'm focusing on is again using up things that I already have. I had a kit that I had purchased. I don't even remember purchasing it. I've said this before, and it was a block of the month. It had I think around 7 or 8 months. This is some of the fabric from those kits. Opened them all up and decided I don't want to make this quilt, and I haven't wanted to make it for a couple of years, but I never did anything with it because I thought maybe over time I will make this quilt. And I love to make star blocks, and a lot of it was star blocks. I actually threw the pattern away so that I wouldn't be tempted to go, no, I'll put it all back and I'll make it. So this is all what's left from it because I made one table topper already, and you might have seen that one. And now I'm making another one. So I want to show you that. So that's what I worked on today, among some other things. I did a couple of other little things as well. So let me just, if I walk over here, oh, I walked too far. Okay. If I walk over, okay, over here, you can kind of see it. So this is, I can't remember what it's called. Friendship Star Table Topper. It finishes at 40.5 by 40.5. It's all a bunch of squares. You could use charm packs or your scraps. So it's really, really awesome and wonderful. It's really fun. So I have most of it put together. I'm going to now, oh, there's a cat in here. I hope it doesn't knock over the camera. I have most of it together. So what we're going to do is we are going to sew the rows together. So these are actually little 4 patches, and I'm just going to sew them together. So I'm going to grab, let's just do row by row. I think that will just make life a little bit easier for me. I think that kind of works. All right. So let's see how this goes. And I apologize if the cat comes up and knocks anything over. So I think I should be good. I'm going to actually put this, hang on. I'm going to move this to this side because I don't think we need it. I should have actually plugged in my big iron. Okay. Now I got mixed up where this is supposed to go. This is why I still have my book out. In case I figure that I forgot which way things were going. All right, so now we're just gonna sew it together. So these are just fun. What I did first was, Captain, don't knock over my camera. What I did first was I made a bunch of half square triangle, and then I made, yeah, that's what I did first. I made a bunch of half square triangles, and then I made a bunch of 4 patches. So some of the 4 patches look like this, and some look like this. Thank you for the likes. And now I am just creating. I am just putting these rows together. So making sure that my seams are nested, or I didn't really, it doesn't really have any instructions on pressing. So I just pressed how I thought things would go together. So hopefully it's not too bad. Some of it, why is this so crooked? This one might not. So I might not have sewn together correctly. What else did I do? I'm trying to think. So I'm going to put these back. I'm not going to go too far down. Some of my blocks did not come out to the size they were supposed to. My half square triangles were, I don't even know why they were so wonky, because I did what it said and then they were just wonky. And I was like, I feel like I don't know, maybe I did something wrong. I'm not sure what I did wrong. So I just, they weren't way off, but they were. Oops, as nice as I would have liked. I just rented out of I have another box. I didn't check before I turned on all my cameras. Nope, I do not have another bobbin. All right. I'm gonna see if this actually sewed before I put it up there. Oh, it did. It did sew. Okay. So we're gonna cut this because we're gonna change our bobbin. So I normally sew or make 8 bobbins at a time. I'm just gonna make one right now so that it doesn't waste a lot of time here. So when my bobbin rebinder comes on, I normally have about, I don't know, 10 inches or so thread left. But I am not going to worry about that right now. I'm going to make bobbins and clean my machine and change my needle after we do this. And it's not so bad because I made 7 and I usually make 8 and I couldn't find a bobbin. I dropped it on the floor somewhere and it took me a while. It took me a couple of days to find it. Sweep the floor and you'll always find your bobbin. What the heck? Oh my goodness. Okay. So I'm gonna make a bobbin. So how's everyone doing? We're expecting a snowstorm actually here. Last week it was freezing cold, like it was cold. And now we're expecting snow. And I just cleaned off my desk with all the snow, and so I'm just letting that make a bobbin for me. And that's what I'm doing. So I'm working on this quilt again. It's called the Friendship Star Table Topper. It's from Prairie Home. It's a Lori Holt book. I like her books for a couple of reasons. It has lots of pictures. Lots of pictures. Oh, it broke. My bobbin, my thread broke. It has lots of pictures, so lots of diagrams and ways to. I've never had my thread break while I make all of it. Strange. Anyways, it's not full, but that's okay. So I'm gonna say, her books I like them because they have lots of pictures, so that I'm not guessing at what people are explaining to me. I understand. I'm kind of a visual learner, so having something to look at, having someone explain it to me really helps. Explain it with pictures, so that my brain fully is engaged. And then, what was I going to say? It's spiral bound, which is really, really nice. And there's lots of great pictures. So I really like that. Like, it's clear, it's easy to understand, and the directions are simplistic. She doesn't say a technique maybe with a weird word or something. I can understand it. And that makes, I love to quilt, but I don't want to figure out what you're trying to tell me. You're supposed, I think, what do I know? But I personally think that patterns should be very easy to follow. This isn't rocket science. I don't want to take, 3 hours to figure out the pattern. And I've had a couple of patterns that I've used that I would never use them again. Maybe it was maybe it was just that particular pattern. I don't know. But I don't want to do that. I don't want to spend hours and hours figuring it out. So I find with Lori Holt's patterns, and it's Emma, it's published by Emma, they're pretty good. So that's what I look for when I look for a pattern, is how easy is it really? Like, are your techniques a little off? Like a little different than mine? I don't like cutting up a bunch of triangles. I would rather do something else. If you can, because I know like some blocks, you do need to use a triangle. But if I can make it, like the hourglass block, now that I know that you can make it without cutting all 4 triangles, I make them now. I think that's super fun. So that's good. So that's what I worked on today, was this beautiful quilt here that I think looks absolutely amazing. I'm so excited and thrilled. It's gonna look amazing. It's a table topper. Now this piece here is really short. I don't know why. Okay, so it's on here. I don't know why I'm a little discouraged because some of my half square triangles were not quite the size they were supposed to be. That made me a little sad. I'm not gonna lie, it made me a little sad because I worked hard on them and I thought I was doing a good job. I was very consistent though. They're all a little bit off, or at least most of them are, but not enough that I can't squeeze it in that 1/4 inch. So maybe my seam allowance will be more like a 1/8 on this in some parts of this quilt, but it's not a total waste. I didn't, waste all that time. So I'm okay with it. So it looks really great. It's a really cute little pattern here, and it's not hard to make, not challenging. So, a lot of people, I follow a lot of different quilters, and a lot of questions I get asked is this pattern for beginners? Is this pattern intermediate or hard or quilt? Well, it depends on you as a quilter. If you feel that you can make it, then make it. If you feel that it's something you want to make, you'll be motivated to make it, I think. I'm just trying to make sure that this is right. I feel like I made a boo-boo. No, 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 that's right. I think. Oh, yeah, because the star is slowly coming together. Yeah, I think we're okay. Yes, I think. I'm trying to do this in the most effective way possible, and I'm losing it. I'm losing my mind. Okay. So it's really quiet in here today because my little ones are with their dad. So it's just me and the cats. We're just hanging out. I spent some time, shoveling, and some time doing laundry. Oh my gosh. But I'm actually pretty proud of myself. I actually did all the laundry, including some bedding, which my blanket's still in the dryer. And I put it all away. I don't know about you, but that like never happens for me. Not in one day. Oh, this didn't catch. Not in the same day. I hardly ever do my laundry. It's rare that I do my laundry and put it all away in one day. Very rare. I'm actually just gonna, I don't want to cut it, but I'm gonna cut it because I don't want to get things messed up. That was one of the ones that was a little short, but I fixed it. So I'm just gonna press that just so that it lays nice and flat. And I know that it's gonna all work out. And if it's all a little off, no, this is, oh, that goes there now. Yeah, I think that goes in. Looks right. It's a little bit. whatever. It'll all work out in the end. It really will. Yes, yes, that is right. I remember those being there. Okay, so that's what it looks like so far. If I can move a little bit more, you can see it. It's looking absolutely amazing on my turn. You can kind of see it. So it looks really great. So it's the center is just 4 blocks across and 4 blocks down. That's the center. And then I have these, they're not quite a charm square, pieces all the way around. And it's gonna look great. I can't give you the pattern, the cutting instructions, because it's not my pattern, but it's really easy to follow. And all the blocks are the same size once you make your half square triangles. So you could really make this any size you wanted. You could use 2.5-inch squares if you want something tiny. You could use 10.5-inch, 10-inch squares if you want something really big. You just have to, every block is the same size once you make your half square triangle. So just figure out what size of half square triangles you want to make. And then everything else is the same size. So you could use layer cakes, charm squares, mini charms, or anything that you want. You could use scraps. Do you have a whole bunch of like 3.5-inch squares? Use those. And you could have a lot of fun with this. It literally says that you need 84 scrappy prints. You can just cut up a bunch of blocks. So it would be fun if all of the blocks were a different fabric. How much fun would that be? I think that would be really fun. And actually, I'm thinking of making this again in a scrappy version. And I may do that. I haven't decided yet, but I may do that. So I hope you're all having a really good weekend. Yesterday, I was at the Quilts for Survivors sewing a studio, and we were binding quilts. I think by the time we were done, we had done 16 bindings. Some of us were a little slower. We were just, busy social visiting and sharing. And it was the first time some people had been in a long time. Or for some people, it was their first time in at all. So that was fun. This is the top row. So that's looking absolutely amazing. And it is going together pretty easily. I'm not having too much issues with my slightly not the right size block. So that's really fun. And it's going really well, I think. I think it's going really well. I'm pleased with how it's turning out. And this just goes to show that if your block, if it says to square it up to, 8.5, and you square it up and it's almost 8.5, but not 8.25, but it's somewhere in there, it'll work. That's what your seam allowance is for. That's why you have a cute little seam allowance, and it'll work. It'll work. So just give yourself some grace and understand that sometimes, for whatever reason, we just run into some issues, and that's a-okay. So when I first put this up here and I looked at it, I was kind of like, I don't know, I have all the pieces in the right spot, and I wasn't sure about the layout. And I moved a couple of blocks around. I did. I moved a couple of blocks because there was the same fabric. And I was like, I don't really care where the fabric is in the quilt, but if I can help it, I don't want them right next to each other. There is one, but it's a background, so I didn't think it mattered too much because it is a background and it's the same background. But I didn't think it mattered too much. And I didn't even notice it when I put that together. But anyways, I moved a few blocks around, messed up a few blocks, and then had to recheck the pattern, make sure that I was putting the blocks in the right space. And then I went to go down and make dinner. Making dinner for one person is kind of boring, I guess. It's like, what do you make for one person? Anyways, I had bacon and eggs and toast. It was great. But I was like turning off the lights in here, and I was like, wow, it does look really good. And then when it was still light outside, so when I turned off all the lights, it looked really, really great. I thought it looked so nice. I haven't really pressed any of these yet. If I don't press them, then I don't feel that I've committed to which side I'm pressing to. What do you have on your wall that is holding up your squares? It's a design wall. I bought it off of Amazon years ago. They don't have them anymore, or at least I don't know, last time I checked, which was probably a year and a half ago. It's like, actually, they're all the same. Um, it's like those tablecloths that have the fluff on the back. It's kind of like that, except it is actually a design wall. It has a grid on it, but basically that's what it is, and it works. And you don't normally have to use pins. I have those little houses over there. They're not pinned on. This isn't pinned. If it gets too heavy, then you do need to pin it. But for the most part, it works pretty good. And then at our sewing tree last year, we just used tablecloths and they worked really well too. Little, and you could pin, stick them on. They work well. I like them. And I just have them held up by thumbtacks. And then you can't see it, but on this design wall, on my right, um, above it, I have curtain rod, and I have little hooks, and that works for larger tops and quilts. Well, I don't really hang quilts on it, but it works for like when the quilt gets too big, then I use that. But it's over, like it's above, it's right at the top of the ceiling, and it works really well. So you're welcome. So it was Quilter's Design Wall or something like that. I think it's like I don't know. I don't want to say flannel. I don't know if it's a flannel, but it's a little better than those tablecloths that you get at the dollar store because it doesn't really come off, but the thread sticks to it, and I don't really know how to clean it. So there's a lot of loose threads on there, but they're almost always covered in something. It might be fleece. I don't know. Felt maybe. Oh, maybe. I don't know. I don't know, and I don't know. I don't know what I don't know. Okay, so now I'm going to sew. So I have my center row done. That's sitting there. That's the bottom row. I'm going to sew this to this, and let's hope that things line up. So I'm going to watch and make sure that everything kind of lines up. So when I put these together, I'm going to watch to make sure that my top and my side is at a 90-degree angle. So that's all I'm worrying about right now. I don't pin. I find when I pin, things don't line up. And it's true because I pinned something. I don't think it was this. I pinned something and it didn't line up. It was just a little bit off. And I'm like, if I hadn't pinned that, I think it would have, the one I didn't pin looked better than the one I pinned. So I don't pin. Sometimes I might put a pin in to hold something in place. I'm going to put this pin here to hold it. What I do is I sew a little bit. I get to the seam. Okay. Then I check for the next seam. Or that next seam. And then I check for that next seam. It's always checking and nesting those seams. Now here I'm at one that I know is a little short. It's not actually that bad. I can catch it. Oh, I think I ran out of my thread broke. That doesn't happen very often. I know there's a question there or a comment. I have to get closer because it's can't away. I have the pin problem too. Oh, see, I don't know, people, and then you watch people and they say pin it like this, and then I just find it doesn't help me. I don't know. You can do it. So I usually pin further things together so that I don't maybe pull up too much fabric on a border or something like that. I do pin when I use pins when I put things on the long arm to hold them down. That's about the extent of my pinning. 2 pins too, but it's fine. They get to live in the sewing room and just maybe they're retired. Oh, did it unthread? Tell me it unthreaded. Oh no, I think we're okay. That's a pretty thick seam. I didn't press anything open. I pressed everything to the side, and some of these seams are a little thicker. It doesn't say. There's no pressing instruction other than the one thing it did say to press open, but I didn't. I just pressed them to the side, and for the most part, that's to work for me. this one is going, okay, I'm gonna make this one go. That's really thick. That's thick too. Okay, this I'm gonna make it go. I just try to make my seams go so that there's less bulk. And at the end of the day, all I'm looking for is flat, a nice flat block. And so I'm just sewing every square. So every little square, I'm sewing and then I'm sewing up to that where I'm nesting the seams. And then I go right to the next one and I nest those seams. So that's all that I'm doing. Because like we just chatted about, I don't pin. I just don't do it. I don't see the point. Or I don't get it right. But I do pin in my foundation paper piecing. I do my foundation paper piecing, I do hold everything in place. But that I think is a little bit different. I'm still not a big fan of foundation paper piecing, but I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I'm pretty excited about it. All right, so we're gonna put this up here. And then I think I'm just going to put a leader in here or an ender in here because I don't like to cut my threads. I find it just waste thread and then I have to start all over. So I could press this, but it's not, these seams are not going to go together. So one thing that when I'm teaching new quilters or even reminding some of our, senior quilters, just check it. Make sure, just kind of pull it apart. Just kind of as you're pushing it, not hard, but you want to make sure that your seams are nested because there's a couple of times where even with my own quilts, I put on the long arm, I put it, it gets stretched so much on the long arm that I need to just, sometimes those little seams aren't held by very many threads and they come apart. So you give a little pull, especially when I know that these are not the best. They are a little short. It should be good. And I didn't want to cut everything down to something in a quarter. I thought, I'm not going to do that to myself. So I'm just going to make sure that this is going the right way. Yes, because I need four backgrounds in the center, which I have. So then again, lining it up at the top, trying to get that 90-degree angle because I want it to sew straight. And if this is wonky on this side, even though I'm not sewing this corner, it might be wonky later on. But just making sure that everything is it's putting its best foot forward, I think. Putting its best seam forward, doing what it needs to do, and it's not hindering anybody else. Like we say to our kids, consequences, all your actions have consequences, good or bad. And some of those consequences affect the other people. So I'm thankful. If I do this, is it just affecting my life or is it affecting other people's lives? You need to make a decision. What's best? Not that you should make your decision based on, anyways, on what other people need or want, but you have to be mindful, especially as parents, how our decisions affect other people, those around us that we love. All right, and love us. Okay, so just again, sewing down, matching all the squares. I never actually counted how many squares were across. Well, 4 times 16. So there's 16. 16. Now, is that going to be nice and flat? I think so. Well, still see, but I think I'm just going to go over a little bit. There we go. Yesterday I was binding, and then all of a sudden my machine went and it made this huge big noise. One of my needle broke in a seam as I was binding, which never happened. Like I don't even remember the last time I broke a needle before yesterday. So I was quite surprised. Even my son, he was sitting next to me sewing, and he was like, "Did you just break a needle?" I'm like, "Yes, I did." So again, just checking to make sure that it's laying nice and flat and that they're together. And my corners are matching up pretty good. Pretty good. Like they're not perfect. This one actually is pretty close to perfect, but it looks really great. So I still struggle sometimes with getting those, there's a thread there, getting those seams to nest and to line up perfect. but it's usually close enough that you won't notice it. But sometimes there's those, all your points just come together and it's a pretty sight. So I usually try to capture those moments with the camera. All right, so again, one more row. Watching that those side pieces, the top and side are nice, laying nice and flat. They're nice and straight together. And then we're just gonna nest down just like you can do. Definitely easier to sew the pieces that are not half square triangles because there's less seams. I think that one's going up. So I'm not gonna fight with the seams. I just let them go whichever way they wish to go. So if you're just joining, I am working. So I cut all this material up about 2 weeks ago. I think it's been sitting on my desk for a little while. And today seemed like the perfect day to sit and sew this because it was pretty mindless sewing. Maybe it was too mindless, and that's why my half square triangles did line up. Anyway, and then I just sewed it together. It's a table topper. It finishes at 40 and a half by 40 and a half. So it's 40 and a half inches square. It gives a bunch of all the squares are the same size. I can't give you the exact pattern, all the pieces, but it's a pretty easy, pretty basic pattern to follow. I think the biggest part is making sure when you make your little four patches, there's 4 patches that you make, that you get all your blocks lined up correctly. And when you put them into the quilt or into the table topper or mini quilt, that they are the right block. That they're going the right way. The orientation of them is the right way. I think that was the trickiest part. And then when I went to change blocks around to, move, I had a couple where the 2 colors came together, and I was like, I don't want that. I had to make sure that I took the same 4 patch and moved them because I was moving different ones. I had to realize not to do that. So I'm just going to be over here. I'm going to actually move this. I think we're okay. That's just the instructions. Okay, so we're going to just press this. I'm just going to press it. Press it. It's been pressed and pressed and pressed some more, so it's pretty good. I'm just going to press it. I do have a big ironing station, but I don't want to have to move all the camera stuff out of the way. And I just do this live. I just use, a basic thing. I'm having a lot of fun here. Hello to everyone out there, wherever you are. I live in Ontario, Canada. I'm in Timmins, Ontario, northeastern Ontario, not too far from the Quebec border. And I don't know, 9 hours, maybe 10 hours from the US border if you went by Niagara Falls. Something like that. So not too far from anywhere. And I am almost done pressing this. This might not be ideal, but sometimes this is all you need. And all of my 4 patches were pressed really, really well before I did this. So it's just those few seams. And they're laying really nice and flat, and it wasn't really difficult to get it together. So let's take a look at how it looks. Now, the top of this was a black something. Now, where's that black block? Oh, this is the top. This is the way it had it. Just because then, of course, it matches with my borders. So there's the top. There's the center of my table topper or wall hanging. So my plan is to make 8 table toppers, not table runners. So I don't want to make rectangular ones. I want to make square ones. That my family can throw on their table maybe as a decoration as opposed to anything else. So this is the center. Now I have to bring it back over and put these borders on. Okay. And it's pretty square. Like it's pretty square. This is almost completely straight. This is a little bit off here, just very, very slightly. if it's even an eighth of an inch, I would be surprised. So what I like is that you get the center star, you get this fun outer, I don't know, ribbon almost, and then you have these fun little 4 patches in the middle, and I just think it's really, really cute. I don't know if you can see that. I guess, kind of, you can kind of see it. It's hard to see all of it with the way the camera is, but I don't always want to go over and move the camera, but I will show it to you. So then, like most patterns, you sew sides and then top and bottom. So I'm going to sew one side. I'm going to start with the right side. These are just a bunch of blocks put together. That's so pretty. Thank you. Thank you. I think it's fun. And I did use a collection of fabrics. These are Kim Deal or something, I think is what it was. I don't remember what the collection's name is because it's old. It's at least 6 years old, if not more. It's probably 7 or 8 years old now. Fabric. Right. I'm supposed to encourage you to like and follow so that whenever I go live, you get notified and it helps me out. We're just starting out, so we don't have a lot of followers yet. But if you can help us out, that would be great. You never know. Lots of people have make money off of doing these lives. So I'm not in it to do that. I'm in it to have fun, to share what I know. People taught me how to quilt and they didn't, I didn't have to take classes. I was able to just sit with them and share. And now with modern technology, we're able to just sit anywhere and share with anyone, anywhere in the world. So I think that is really cool. So I love it. But like and follow so that we can sew together other times. If you have a specific question or maybe a pattern that you were wondering if I've tried or if I would try, let me know. This year I'm focusing, I think I mentioned this already, on using fabric I already have and focusing on buying backing and batting, I guess. It's kind of where my main focus is. And I do have some fabric collections that I am going to purchase, but I'm not going to just buy fabric to buy fabric or buy it because it was on sale. I'm not doing that right now because I just feel like I have a lot of fabric and I'm trying to curate my fabric, I guess, not just buy anything because for a while I was just buying whatever, right? So I want to kind of have fabrics that kind of complement each other, or I really like them, or something, or they go with the layer cakes I already have, or the jelly rolls, or the charm packs, and just kind of focusing. I have a lot of fabric. Actually, I was talking to someone, and they're like, "You don't have that much fabric." I have a lot of scraps, and I really would love to get my scrap bins down a little bit because if I don't start sewing with them, I'm gonna have to buy more bins, and I'd rather buy fabric. Let's be honest, I would rather buy fabric. So there's the first border. It's just a fun border. It's just a bunch of squares sewn together to make a fun border. So that's this camera, if it would just stop moving, right? So I'm gonna pull this down. And then I'm gonna put it on the other side. So this is the top side. So I'm gonna flip it and I'm gonna sew from the bottom. And then I'm just nesting as I go, like I did with the rose, just nesting as I go. So I'm almost finished. Almost finished. I am really excited to have another one done and to get these pieces, this fabric off of my desk and put them to use and to actually use this fabric that I've had, like I said, for at least 6 years. I am doing several block of the months. It's something I really enjoy doing, and it's not a huge commitment. I'm very busy. I'm a very busy person. So I find block of the months are fun. It's not a huge time commitment. It's not a huge any kind of commitment. This is not nesting properly. And I just feel like That seam does not want to go the way it's supposed to be going. It wants to just be difficult. So I do a lot of block of the months. I really enjoy them. I'm lately I've been trying to do different block of the months, like do a couple of challenging ones so that I'm learning a new skill or technique, or maybe working with, well, not really smaller pieces, not, well, kind of. Anyways, just testing out my skills and learning some new ones, because at any age we can learn new things, you know. I think that's always important. These are not nesting as nicely as I'd like. Maybe that needs to go up and then nest nicer. A little bit. There we go. It's getting there. It's getting there. It's a little, this side seems a little bit wonky compared to the other side. All right. So I am doing an applique block of the month. I am not an appliquist. I do not hand applique. I take So Life Usable or Heat and Bond, and I use that. So I have to do everything backwards, trace it backward onto the So Life Fusible. Then I cut it out. No, I trim around it. I don't cut it fully out. Then I transfer it to fabric, the wrong side of the fabric. You have to make sure it's the wrong side. Last month I did on the right side. So all the glue was on the fabric side, like the fabric that you want to see. So it was like, I can't use this. Good thing I didn't waste too much fabric. And then I take it and I stick it onto the background of the quilt. And that's how I'm doing that. That's the Big Woods quilt. It's a lady in Australia that does it. I ordered it in August and it ends in, I think it's July. Pretty sure it's July. And so I'm doing that quilt. That's a lot of fun. And then it's not too bad. You do one or two blocks a month. It's not that bad. And she has it planned out where you advance. So the first block will be easier than the last block, and they slowly get a little bit more difficult. But she's not making it unbearable. As someone who doesn't know what they're doing, applique wise, I'm having a lot of fun and I'm able to follow along. But again, she's hand appliquing. I am not. I don't hand sew anything. I barely sew a button on. Like, I just don't hand sew. It's not my thing. But I can still make the quilt even though I'm not hand sewing. And it's raw edge. So the way that I'm doing it is raw edge. I could do it. I think, did I press this already? I think so. Now I don't remember which is the top and which is the bottom. I know there was a black square, but can you think I can find it now? No. It doesn't really matter. Oh, it looks really nice. I think it might be upside down. It doesn't really matter because there's no right way up or anything. See how nice that looks? It looks so great. The framing of it looks amazing. I love it. So now I just have to put a whole row at the top and a whole row at the bottom. Doesn't really matter. I'm going to put this one on the bottom. This is the bottom because I remember this red begins to this black. So I'm going to line it up and sew it down. So that's one of the block of the month. Then I'm doing the dragon fruit block of the month with the Fat Quarter Shop, which I love. It's all tulip pink. It's all foundation paper piecing. Again, not my favorite thing. I love traditional piecing with a modern twist. So I always say I love traditional piecing, but I love some of the modern ways that we do things. How we make half square triangles, how we make hourglass blocks. Just because I love traditional piecing doesn't mean I can't take advantages of the new tools and ways that we do things. So we used to make half square triangles with triangles, not making 2 or 6 or 8, 2 at a time, 4 at a time, 8 at a time, 32 at a time or something like that. I think I did one. So that's another one I'm working on. I get the Sew Sampler box every month. That's the only subscription box I've ever gotten. And I just keep getting it because I love it. It's the fabric. Most of the time I enjoy the fabric. I may not make the pattern that comes with it, but I do really enjoy it. What else? So I'm making the block that goes with that every month. That's right now we're doing the peaceful basket so long. That's fun. That ends in March. So that's always fun. And then there's some free, there are so many free sew-alongs, free blocks, free patterns out there. Like you could probably sew the rest of your life and never have to buy. It's good if you have a printer, so you print them off, but you could follow from, you could, not print it and then follow it from your device if you're able to do that, or write it down or whatever. There's lots of free patterns. So I'm doing the a quilting life block of the month, and that one comes out the first Monday of every month. And I have my first block done as a log cabin with a cute little center. And from what I understand, all the centers are changing. And then there's some threads in the way. There's some quilts there. What else am I working on? Oh, I'm doing the coriander quilts with Corioder. I'm doing her mystery block of the month. That's fun. The first block was really fun. I'm using batiks and purple. My color, so my background is purple. I hope it works with all of the blocks to keep it at purple. I'm thinking it will, but at least the purple look does stand out against my batiks. So I think it'll be great. Purple is my favorite color, and it's also the color of the year for Kona. So I was like, easy. I bought a whole bolt because I just love that color. So, and then I also bought last year's color of the year, the julep. This one is Neptune or something. I'm thinking those two colors together might make a fun quilt. I think if I did a two color quilt, that might be fun. All right. So I'm just going to press this down. Again, just pressing it here. I actually don't have anything on my ironing board, not even the cap. Captain, don't do that. Nope, don't scratch the chair. Psst, don't do that. Don't scratch your scratch post. You don't need to scratch there. Thank you. All right, so that's the bottom. Do remember that that's the bottom. How great does this look? That so nice. You can see here in this corner how nice it looks. So one more. And it's a decent size. It'll look really nice on whose ever table gets it, I guess. Whether it's one of my kids or my sister or my mom or somebody else, it's going to look great. So I'm going to make 8 because I'm thinking I have 3 older kids, my mom and my sister, so that makes 5. 5, right? 3 older kids, mom and sister. And then I'll have 3 extra. In case I want to give one to somebody else. So I think that will be fun. I did quilts this past Christmas. Everyone got a quilt. Everyone got a quilt. Got their own quilt. I made 15 quilts. Well, I made more than 15 quilts, but I made 15 Christmas presents last year. I made about 45 plus quilting projects last year. And I don't make bags. I just do blankets, table toppers, table runners, wall hanging. What else did I make? Placemats. I used a lot of my scraps or my stash, but mostly scraps last year. A lot of them were really scrappy. Some of them are organized, scrappy. Some of them are just crazy. Oh, thank you for saying it's beautiful. I think it looks really great. And like I said, it went together really well, really easily. Even though some of my half square triangles were a little short. I don't even know why, because I cut them out. What did I cut them with? No, I didn't. I didn't trim them. I pressed them and then I trimmed. Then I looked and they were just slightly. I'm not going to think about it anymore. I don't even know. Okay, so I am nesting my seams. I am just making sure everything is laying nice and flat. Maybe everything lay as nice as I can. Just manipulating the seams as I go along so that they're nesting nicely. I'm not a press the seams open front of it. I feel like when I go to long arm it, what's there. Like in that seam, there's nothing there except thread. If I press it open, I know it'll be nice and flat, but where's the structure to that seam? And I can get it pretty flat if I just keep ironing it. Right? If I just get it pretty, and then there's other things that help you. There's sprays that can help you get things, flatter, um, or lay a little nicer. If you nest your seams really nice, you can get them. If you trim, sometimes trimming some of the bulk away without cutting your seam. What else can you do? There's this, I don't know what it is, but it's called Easy Seam or So Easy Seam or something. And man, I got it in one of my prescription boxes, and it is like magic. That on, and that seam just goes super flat. Like it's unbelievable how flat it gets your seam. This one, I could tell it's not the right way. I'm gonna find. Oh, actually, my seams aren't that bad. They're not, and they're almost perfectly matching. Yay! That makes me happy. Okay, so there's the back of my quilt. I'll show you the back. I know it's quilters, we kind of like to see the back. So it's just pressing it any which way, trying to nest my seams. I think it's fine. It's nice and flat. And if it's not, it'll be okay when I quilt it. All right. So here is the finished product. There's a thread there. Let's just some snips here. Let's just cut that thread right off right now. All right. Sometimes I try to pull them. Sometimes it's loose enough that you just have to pull it and it'll come out. So this looks really, really good. It's really nice. The border doesn't seem like it's wavy. Everything seems to be nesting really, really nicely. It'll quilt up really nice. It's not, I don't know, I really want to make another one because it was so much fun to do that. So I will. I'll show you. I don't know if it'll. Oh, there you got a nice glimpse of it. I'm just going to hold it there for a second. There you go. So that is the Friendship Star Table Topper. I think it looks absolutely amazing. I love it. I am so thrilled that it looks absolutely amazing. So thank you for joining me. So now I was thinking of, I knew that wouldn't take very long. So I thought, well, what could I show you? What else could we work on quickly together before I go? So I have something else that we're going to do. So some of you might recall that I'm making little 6.5-inch blocks. Somebody said, sorry, I got to get really close to read it. Followed the live, liked the live. Thank you. Everyone's liking it. They're enjoying it. Thank you so much. Don't forget to follow or subscribe, or I never remember what it's called on different media sites. So like and follow, that really helps me out. I'm having a lot of fun, and the kids, my older kids, love to go, Mom, how many people do you have now? How many followers do you have now? I think it's great. I have so much fun. So these are 6.5-inch blocks. These are made with a motif fabric, and I wanted to make some placemats. And I think I'm going to either give them at Easter or Christmas, sometime. Easter, Christmas, something. We'll see. So I made these. I still haven't bound them, but I think I found the binding that I want to put on these. So this is a 6.5-inch block, and the rest of these are just 2.5-inch blocks. So I can't give you the instructions to make the pumpkin because it's not a pattern. But I'm going to show you how easy this goes to get. Let me just find a large design board. So what we're going to do is let's put this purple one, this right here, okay? So that's my bottom. You can put it's on the bottom somewhere. You could put two. Like you could put two if you wanted. You could put two blocks, one here and one up here on your placemat. I'm just going to use one. And then I'm going to grab, I know I put it out here somewhere. Okay. And then we're going to grab our scrap bin. In my case, actually, I should just bring this to the wall. Okay, never have enough room. So what we're gonna do is you can lay them out however you want. 9, we need 9 across. Okay, 9 across and 6, okay. 9 across. And there's 3 rows above our square. Okay, so we're gonna do 9. So you can grab whatever you want. So you can kind of do some kind of a pattern. You can, do what I did, a little bit of some light or some low lights. You can do all darks. You can do, if you have enough of them, you could do a solid color. These are literally scraps. Some of these are sewn together, like they're literally left over from something else. You can use whatever you want. So what I'm going to do is try to find some fun prints that aren't too dark. So I want to do 3. That's really fun. I don't think I want any white. I don't want any really dark ones. These are really fun. I'm going to put those in there, I think. This one's kind of fun. I don't think I want to put the batiks in there. I think I want to use those. And then these are really pretty. Oh, no, those are too, I've got white. I don't want white backgrounds. I don't want that. These are kind of fun. Okay. So I'm just gonna have some fun here. You can, if you want to stick around, I'm just gonna lay out this block here, get some fun pieces in there, and just try not to use. Just try to use different colors. That's the same. I already used that color. I'm gonna try to use the fabric once each, so that means I can only have one scissors and one other sewing machine. Okay. Do I have a pink one already? Nope. So a pink one. I have strawberries already. I don't have a yellow one. These are such cute fabrics. Like, look, there's little bubble tea. I made, what did I make with them? Oh, that's not 2.5 inches. That's too small. That's in the wrong scrap pile. I made a bubble tea table runner for my daughter. I think they really liked it. I want to put all my bubble tea in the same spot. Okay, what else we got? I don't want to put any half square triangles in there. I don't want Christmas fabric. Ooh, that actually is that fabric. So that's kind of cute. I'm going to put that in there. Oh, some of this is from that same. Okay, let's use some of this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't know if I want stripes. I don't think I want stripes. 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This isn't long enough. 7, 8, 9. Kind of works. That kind of works. Okay, so let's add some more pieces. So I'm going to move them over just a little bit. It's okay if they lay over top of each other because I'm not going to sew them that way, but it kind of gets so that all the pieces fit on the board. Okay, now we got the pieces on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9. Okay, 9 across. And then it's, what did I say, 6 down? 3 above the block here. So these are super, super cute pieces. I've used those. I used that. Did I use this color? Nope, I'm gonna put that color there. I can use this color. So put that color there. That's the same. I'm gonna put that color there. And I'm just gonna keep doing this until I have enough for the whole block. And then, ooh, that's too much blue in one corner. I'll put that there. And then I'm gonna sew it together, just as I would any other thing with a bunch of blocks. I'm gonna put this maybe over here. The scissors, and then some bubble tea, some cute little dots. All right. Ooh, no, that's too white. I said I wasn't going to use white. I gotta kind of stick to what I had said I wasn't going to do. Well, I don't have to. It is my own placement. But I think mixing it up and making it really scrappy does 2 things. One, it gets rid of scraps, gets rid of fabric that I didn't know what I was going to do with anyways. And 2, it makes it fun for the person who's sitting at the table using the placemat because they get to see all the different fabrics and go, ooh, oh, what's this? What's that? Look at this. I found this. Or I found that. Look, there's a turtle, or there's a bubble tea, or there's a strawberry, or there's a beautiful flower. or whatever. So I think that adds a little bit of fun and enjoyment to the quilt, this isn't a quilt, to the whatever this is, placemat. Alrighty, so let's see. I'm gonna see how many pieces we need down here. We need, oh, it's 6. 2. I have that clear in there already. I do. So again, try to keep it scrappy, try to keep it fun. Do I have this in here? Oh, I have that there then. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3. I think I have that color already. So that's all I'm doing. It's just making this piece like this and just getting it all in there. And I said I didn't want any white, anything that was a white background or dominating in white. 1, 2, 3, 6. So that's what I'm working on. Oh, it's telling me that I've been on for a long time. Are you still there? I'm still here. We're still chatting. We're still having a good time. There we go. Still having fun. I hope you're enjoying this. If you're just joining, I made this quilt here. I sewed it together on my table topper, and then I am working on a placemat. I'm going to make a placemat. So this is what I have so far. So I don't remember what size this comes out to, and it's not my pattern, but this is what I'm doing. I have a 6.5-inch block, and then I have all of these scraps. And I'm just going to sew it together and make a cute placemat. I'm not using any batiks or any solids. No batiks, no solids, not using the same print twice. I don't think I want all those black in there. Well, there's no white on this. I can use this block because there's no white on it. It is an hourglass block. But because there's no white and it's not made with batiks, I'm going to use it. Okay, so I could probably make one with just all bubble tea. The extra fabric left over from that quilt. Oh, this is pretty. Okay, so how are we at? I don't know. How many we got on this row? Just 2. I need 4 more. I don't want words. I don't think I want words. I have that in there already. If I end up having to use 2, I will, or skip a, or not. We'll see. There's this pink. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's only 4. 4. Oh, there's another hourglass block. Ooh, I'm gonna put that in there too. 4. Some little like houses on them. All right, let's see what else. I do have to go, after I'm done this, I will have to go check my laundry, but I am proud of myself. I did get most of my laundry done and put away today. 1, 2, 3, 4. I just have a blanket in the dryer. So, I mean, that is a huge accomplishment for me. I don't know about you. Laundry is my pitfall. I have a hard time getting laundry, put away, done and put away in one day. I do. I have a really hard time with that. And there's only 3 of us. And Wallace sometimes puts his own clothes away. So I just struggle. That's my struggle. Ooh, some tuna pink flowers. Okay, let's see how many we got here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hey, we're getting there. 7, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That was supposed to be 6. Oh yeah, and then 7, 8, 9. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna use one of these right there. 5, 6, 7, 8. I almost thought I've counted wrong. I don't even know how to count. I have that already. Darn. I have that already too. I'm having fun actually, remembering what I've used these for, where they came from. These are all from other projects. I might have to use some doubles. Or, oh no, maybe not. Maybe not. There's a cute pink here. I think that gives me 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, it gives me 9. There's 9 in this row, 9 in this row, 9 in this row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need one more piece there. I don't have, that one's kind of not white, it's cream. And then I need one more. Oh, I think I need one more down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need one more. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have them all. Okay. So I have them all here. How gorgeous is this? I think it looks great. It's fun. It's scrappy. I'm using up my scraps. Someone's going to get a beautiful placemat. This block is absolutely amazing. This was a leftover from my first quilt top I made this year, the saltwater sampler. So that was done. So this is a motif fabric, like I mentioned. So that is that. So there is all kinds of fabrics in here. Random ones that I picked up as fat quarters. There's tulip pink. There's all kinds of motor designers in here. There's some art gallery fabrics. This is Quiet Place or something. I don't know. I don't remember everything. I don't even know where this came from. I don't know what that is. But anyways, now we're just going to sew it together. So we're going to sew it together. You can't. It goes together a little bit differently than your standard sew across, kind of like what I did up there, where I just sewed it across and everything went together nicely. Because I have this block, I have to sew these 3 bottom rows and then attach it to this block before I add it to the top rows. And that's the only, I don't know if it's odd, but different thing about making these. But placemats are so much fun. So with placemats, I've done a couple of different things. I've put them on the long arm and a whole bunch of them at one time and quilted them that way. I've used my domestic machine here and done that. Something out of the way. It's completely up to you how you want to do it. I've done just straight line stitching on them. That's always fun. I've done what have I done? A crosshatch, whatever you want to do. Loops and swirls. There's no right or wrong. I've never put that the stuff that retains the heat. I've never done that. I've only ever used just I kind of finish it the way I finish a quilt. And I usually bind, well, that one really needs to be bound. But I was looking for a specific color of fabric and I don't have it. And I don't really want to buy it just to cut up and make binding. So so these 3 I'm going to cut off because these become the top 3 rows. And I didn't use any fabrics twice, so I don't have to worry about anything, the touch, put that there. I could have did it more organized. I could have done all kinds of different things. It's it's whatever you want. You could use a mini charm. So you can make a cute little block here. If you don't want to make a block, you could just put more charms there. You could just do the whole thing in charms, 9 across by 6 down. Just do all charms. You could do that. That would be cute too. You could use a mini charm package and make a place to be a fun way to show off fabric collection maybe that you really like or something like that. That would be super fun. So then this is the bottom 3. So I'm just kind of keeping them separate. And it is fun to go, think back to, well, what did I make with these? Because these are all cut up. They're either left over from a mini charm that I didn't use all of it up, or maybe I had a couple of them. Wait. I almost grabbed the wrong one. It's little blocks that I made extras of that I don't need. That was from my vintage Christmas quilts. An extra one. So just lots of fun remembering what we did with all of those fabrics and things. And some of these fabrics I've used in more than one project. So that's fun too. So I'm going to keep going. I really appreciate you joining me this evening and watching the videos, watching this live with me, sewing along with me. It's really quiet here tonight in the house. It's just me and the cats, and well, they're sleeping. Well, he's on the ironing board sleeping over there. So I really, really enjoy that. I enjoy your company. I think it's just great. So where am I now? 3 for the bottom. I'm having a lot of fun. This one is a little bit really wrinkly in that one corner. I'm not setting my seam. I'm just pressing this one square really flat. Sometimes when you have scraps, they get kind of wonky while they're sitting in the bin. Even if you just place them in there, toss them in there. It didn't even make that much of a dent in my bin, taking out all of these blocks. Oh, cat's on the table. I apologize. Sorry for the bumpiness. Not sure what he's looking at. So I'm having I'm enjoying this. I just wish I ate up more of my scraps. Maybe I'll have to just make a big wall hanging with all of these funny scraps. Make like a I Spy wall, or make a big table runner just using 2.5-inch squares. Scraps. Every quilt you make more scraps. They just never seem to go down. I did make pillows. Oh my gosh. So I think I did a video of it, or I showed a picture of it. There's a picture. And I had made first ever, probably my only, first and last temperature quilt last year. Still need to quilt it. But I only have 4 quilt tops from 2024 that I need to quilt, and then I have one from 2025. And then I have 2 table toppers from 2025 to quilt. So I'm not doing too bad. I've almost all my 2024 projects completely finished. Was I saying? I made 2 pillows. I think they were 16.5 unfinished. I made 2 pillow front covers of the front, and then I just made it a back. I just shoved a pillow form in there, and I made 2 cute pillows, all with leftover half square triangles from my temperature quilt. So I was quite proud of myself with that. I thought that was really cool that I was able to do that. We are almost done this. I think I messed up though. So I'm on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I took a block from somewhere. I don't know. I think I took a block from somewhere because I have an extra block in this oh no, maybe not. I do not have an extra block. I thought I had an extra block. I was like, how did I get an extra block? But I didn't. So far, so good. Just losing my mind here. So that was fun. And they were really easy to make. I just followed. I never made a pillow back like that before. Usually, I do did I do binding? No, I didn't do binding, but I don't usually do an envelope back. Usually, I still leave an opening, stuff it with stuffing. But I had these pillow forms that I wanted to use, so I watched a video online of how to do it, and that's how I did it. I didn't know how to do it before because I never did it before. So the video was really helpful, and I think there was a free pattern or something because I wasn't sure how do how wide do you make the pieces? How long do you make the piece? And one of them, the back could have been a little bit longer, but it worked out okay. It looks great. The kids were pretty happy when they came home and I had all the pillows off the couch, all this old dirt. They weren't dirty because I washed them, but they kind of just looked raggedy. So they looked old and raggedy, and now they look all nice and fresh and new, and I like them. It's nice when go sit on the couch and the pillows you made the pillows and you made the quilts that people are snuggling up under. That's always a nice feeling. I like that. And then I have a few, quilts on the little wall hangings here and there, and it's just nice. Home is what you make it, and it's fun when the things in it you've made. And then I have, of course, the kids' art and gifts that they made for me and given me. I love it. I love it. All right, I'm done with bottom now. So those are done. These need a few extra because they're not big enough. So you could really make this whatever size you want. You could actually make a table runner. Oh, that would be kind of fun. So you could make you could make a table runner and throw in a bunch of different box, and then just have a bunch of squares, just framing them, random squares, or you could do some kind of a fun pattern, like a checkerboard pattern or something. There's a question. I can't read the questions from where I'm sitting, so I'm gonna come up and read them over here. Give me a second. Hi, wait. You're from Timmins. Quilt for Yes, I am. I am the founder of Quilts for Survivors, and I come on and I share what I'm doing in my home studio. So this is my home, and yep, you found me. I'm Vanessa. Thank you for noticing. That's so cool. And I do live in Timmins, and I am the founder of Quilts for Survivors. So thanks. And I just love to come on and share what I'm working on. I think it's so fun. I think it's so fun. I wish the lady that taught me how to quilt, she had already passed away by the time I had started Quilts for Survivors, and I wish that she had the opportunity to know how appreciative I am of her for taking that time that one summer when I was 9 years old, very reluctantly, I think. She was pretty like, I'm not gonna teach you, you're not gonna learn. I wish that I hope that wherever she is in the spirit world, that she sees and she knows that what she did for me at 9 years old was such a blessing. Because now I'm able to share it with you here. I'm able to use it to help my people and the nations across Turtle Island to heal from residential schools and all the other institutions that tried to hurt my people. And I'm very honored to be able to do that. And I wish I could tell her how grateful I am for the time that she gave me that one summer to make that cute little quilt. Sometimes when I do lives from the Quilts for Survivors studio, you can see a little quilt hanging up at the back, and that's my first quilt. And she never got to find out what I did with the skill that she shared with me. I don't even think she was gone by the time I actually really made another quilt. I think my second quilt, she had already moved away from Koshiner, where we were living. But her cousin was on one of my, found me when I first started, I think, Quilts for Survivors, and we were working out of, the dining room downstairs. And she said that she was Armand's cousin, and that she says, Armand knows. And I was like, oh, that makes me feel so good, because sometimes we share things with people, we teach someone something, or we share something with someone, and we don't know how that's going to affect their life, what they're going to do with that as they grow up. And I'm proof that if you invest some time in a youth, it could go pretty far. So I'm so grateful. And to anyone else who taught me how, gave me some skills in sewing. And another lady that helped me make my first skirt, an A-line skirt. It had an elastic waist, which is very similar. It's not exact, but because the skirts we make for ribbon skirts is a lot longer. But she helped me make my very first A-line skirt, which is similar to how we make our ribbon skirts. She was not Indigenous or anything. She was just helping me with a home ec project. And she too has passed away. And I never thought about that till now, how now when I make a ribbon skirt, there's a lot of people. Another lady, I don't remember her name. She taught me how to make scrunchies. I did scrunchies one time in school. I think I was in grade 7. I made some scrunchies. That was fun. I don't make scrunchies now, but some other sewing techniques there. And then we did something else. I think we made a quilt, but I think we sewed it by hand in another class, and we donated it somewhere. I don't know if anyone remembers where we donated it. It was very pretty fabrics, though. They were kind of ugly. I don't think, maybe they were old shirts or something. They weren't very, I just remember thinking, these are really ugly. Like, if this is what quilting is, using ugly fabrics, I don't want to quilt. Like, I want cute fabrics. And then I went into a fabric store, our local fabric store, in Red Lake at the time. That's where I grew up. And she had some fairly pretty fabrics, but still, it wasn't It wasn't like now where you can get amazing, you can almost anything in a fabric. Like it's unbelievable. So all of that story is to tell you that pass on your knowledge of whatever. You are a good cook or a good baker, or you have amazing organizational skills, or maybe you have a technique for doing laundry that really works, or maybe you can build and create things, make, I don't know, things with wood, or you have another hobby. You're a really good knitter or crocheter, or you're good at embroidery or cross stitch. Maybe you have a great way to clean your house. That's just like, one of those things where this is set the bar. This is where you set the bar. And you can, if you share that with the next generation, share that with people. Maybe you have a really good budget system that really works and keeps you on track. Share that with people. You never know how those little things that you teach people will help them later in life. The saying is, teach a man to fish and he'll eat forever. Give a man a fish, he'll eat for one day, that type of thing. Teach your skills, share. I believe that our gifts, our talents are meant to be shared. And so find people that you can share that with. I encourage you to do that, because I am so glad that Armand Damaris, she took the time to teach me to quilt. Because I didn't grow up in a family of quilters. My mother and grandmother knitted, crocheted. One of my aunts, she passed away. She was amazing. She made these intricate tablecloths that were, I believe she crocheted them, and they're like absolutely phenomenal. They were amazing, just absolutely amazing. But no quilters. So I wouldn't have learned it anywhere else. So I don't know where I would have picked it up. So I'm really grateful for that. So I encourage you to share your talents and gifts. The Creator gave them to you for a reason. Share them. And everyone likes something new. Learn something new. Maybe you know things about plants. Maybe you're a really good gamer. Like there's all kinds of skills that we have. Maybe you have some study techniques that are really good. I could use those, but oh my gosh. Yeah. But I'm having fun. I'm having fun with everything that I'm doing. I feel really positive about all of the things that I'm working on, not just in sewing, but in life. And if you have a dream, don't give up. Hang in there. You'll find a way to make it work. And that's what's happened for me is I found a way to do some things that I've really always wanted to do. Okay, we are so close. We are 2 seams away from having a completed table placemat. Completed placement. And I think these are going to be super cute. Maybe I'll just keep them. Maybe I'm going to give them away. Who knows? All right. You could do seasonal blocks. I did the vintage Christmas quilt. It's like a sampler quilt because it has all these different blocks. And it was 42 6.5-inch blocks, but a lot of them were like traditional blocks. What does Lori call them? She says there's your traditional blocks and then there's your picture blocks. So like a dog, a doll, there was a bell. I don't know if the snowflake is a picture block or not, but there was nutcrackers. They were so cute. So they could either be 6.5 or 12.5. And I think she has in her book some patterns as well for making table runners or placemats. And I was thinking there's a mitten. One of the blocks I had to make was a mitten. And that would be really cute in this. If you got like a little snowflake, I think I have in my Christmas fabric some snowflakes and stuff. I think that would be really cute. Having different snowflakes or something with a little mitt. That would be really cute. on the table in the winter. Right now, because it's supposed to be snowing. I want to have a big storm or something. 15 centimeters of snow or something. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Maybe tomorrow will be a snow day. We just won't go to work. I shouldn't say that. Maybe can our cats watching it? No snow, no work. In the executive roles and the manager role, sometimes you can do some stuff from home, but the sewing part kind of hard to do from home. Everything's over there. So what I sew here is for family and friends or myself. So there's the top part of my table runner. And then I'm going to, our table runner, a placemat, and I'm going to add the bottom. So I can't read what you wrote, but I will come and check it out. Just give me 1 minute. I'm finish pressing this. So this is the bottom half. If you don't have a block to stick there, all you have to do is just put more squares. So I'm going to come and read your comment or your question. It's because I use my phone and it's short. Please, no, they have been home enough. Oh, I hear you. I know. I don't have my kids though. They're with their dad, so. But I'm the mom who drives them to school anyways. Maybe it'll be an adult snow day and the kids just have to go to school. The buses won't be canceled. It's just like, thanks, parents. Thanks, workers. Have a great day. Stay home. Maybe it'll be one of those days. But yes, I drive the kids to school because what are we going to do all day? And they think it's fun because they come home and they tell me how many kids are in their class. Mom, there was only 4. Mom, there were 6 today. Oh. So I kind of like that part. I love my kids, but it's hard to work. It's hard to go to work and have that product. Or if I'm going to drive to work, I might as well just go to school too. Right? They might as well go to school. Who's this? Sorry, there's a comment. Come closer again. I'm not on mat leave every day. I'm on mat leave every day. It's a snow day. Well, there you go. Congratulations on a new addition, Ashley. That's so great. I hope you're having a wonderful time. I don't want to have another baby, but I loved being home with the babies, and that was always fun. That was one of my favorite things, was being a stay-home mom. I really, really liked it. I enjoyed it. I know some people are like, I couldn't stay home every day. I'd go nuts. I'd go crazy. And I was like, oh, I love it. I loved it. I really did. I really enjoyed it. And some people say they're bored. I was like, I was never bored. Never bored. I took naps. I did not, the house was always clean. Laundry was not always done because, with babies, you get lots of laundry. But, we always had great meals. We always had lots of fun. I liked being at home. So, appointments, dentist appointments, eye doctor appointments, other kind of things could just be done whenever because it was like, well, we're at home anyways. Do it in the morning so we can have a nap in the afternoon. That type of thing. I did, and I had some other neighbors and friends that were on maternity leave at the same time. So we're gonna hang out together. So that was another comment. I'm just gonna again come up and read it. Gives me exercise. Seems like a Timmins gang is here tonight. Oh, that's so cool. Well, welcome, Timmins people. I appreciate the support. And it means a lot knowing that people enjoy what I'm doing and chatting with me, and it's super fun. All right. So I am just pressing this final piece. I find it very relaxing. I love to just watch some videos of people creating things. And I've had a couple of people comment how they like my little channel here because I show you all the steps and I explain what I'm doing. I don't know everything, but what I know, I love to share with you. And thank you for supporting me by just joining in. So if you don't mind giving it a like and a follow, that really helps. So there is, my camera follows faces. So if I cover my face, it can't see. Doesn't know where I went. So there is my finished table placemat. What's I call it? Tabletop placemat. So in this time, we have made a placemat together. The block was already made, so we didn't make that. And we put together this table topper over here. which was super fun. So thank you so much for joining me. Thanks for the likes, follow, subscribe, whatever it is. And I come on at random times. I am busy with work and the kids, and I'm in university. Let's just not even talk about that. So I won't come on as much because I do have to, read chapters. But I'm having a lot of fun, and I love sharing what I'm working on. So if you ever have a question, or if there's any way I can help you out, let me know. Hope that you had fun. So again, follow me over here. We made this cute placemat, and then we made this awesome, I sewed together this awesome table topper, which I think my sister will love. I just quilted and made the baby's blanket. Sewing is so therapeutic. Oh my gosh, it so is. It so is. It really is. It really is so fun, and it can be stressful, but it doesn't have to be. My foundation paper piecing quilt is very stressful. Not stressful. I have to really sit and think and focus. So I just do it a little bit at a time. And then things like this placemat are super easy. Thank you for saying it looks nice. I think it looks pretty nice. And then I have somewhere here, I have another block. So I will be making another one with this block right here at a later date. So I'm going to go. I think I'm done for tonight. And we'll see if my dryer is done. And have a wonderful evening, everyone. Stay safe, stay warm. And just a reminder, I know it was mental health. It's Bell has that Bell Talk. So just a reminder to check in with yourself, with your mental health. It's very important, especially as I can't speak for men because I'm not a man, but as a mother, as a woman, a lot of times we're putting other people before ourselves at the risk of our own health. So just take time for yourself, whether that's 5 minutes in the bathroom with the door locked and, noise canceling headphones on, just standing there and just like, I just need 5 minutes, 5 minutes just to breathe. Do that. Check in with yourself. Make sure you're okay. If you're not, there's lots of help out there. I know it can be hard to find, but there's always someone who is willing to listen. If you can't find anyone, you have me. And I can always just be there to listen. I know life is hard. I'm a single mom. Life is hard. And even when I was married, life was hard because living with someone and sharing your home with someone and raising kids with someone is hard. Life, it can be very hard, but it can also bring lots of joy, lots of laughter, awesome memories, and you're not alone, even though sometimes we feel alone or we feel like no one cares. You're not. And if you need a place to come, a safe space to come and just sit, check out Quilts for Survivors Sewing Studio. We're open Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. You're welcome to just come in, see what we're all about. We have some comfy couches. We have a coffee pot. We can make you tea. You can sit and just take a load off. And you can talk to us or you can just sit there. It is a safe space to come and see what we're doing. And if you want to take some time and sew something, we would appreciate that. And we would love to show you around our studio. So have a wonderful evening. Remember that you are loved and you are important and you matter. And that's why you're here on this earth at this time, because the Creator thought so too. So thank you so much for joining me again. Placemat, table topper. I'm so excited. So I made 2 table toppers this year, 1 placemat, and 1 full quilt top. Anyways, a little behind on the quilting part. So thanks everyone. Have a great evening. Great rest of your little bit of weekend that's left. And I'll see you next time. Miigwech. Thanks everyone. Miigwech.